Okay, here's a fact. A good gaming laptop with a good CPU and GPU usually costs 80,000 and up. However, the laptop we have today is a special one. We got this on sale for $69.90, and for that price, this comes with a full-powered RTX 3050, 12th Gen i5 H series processor, 144Hz display, RGB keyboard. But it's not just about the specs. This comes from Acer. They have Nitro and Aspire series, meaning they have experience in making gaming laptops. So the question that needs to be asked is this the best gaming laptop at this price? Well, we have been testing this laptop for a few days now, daily driving it, playing games on it, watching videos. So I'll tell you the practical side of the story, and I must say, things are quite interesting. I have so much to tell. But before that, if this is your first time buying a laptop, here's what you get inside the box. You have the usual laptop, a big charging brick, and a power cable. That's about it. Other laptops usually give those gaming stickers and all of that, but you don't get those here. Coming to the laptop, I would say there are 3 things that I liked and 2 things which I wish were better. Like starting off with the first thing that I liked, design. I mean, have a look here. It is not over the top and flashy like other gaming laptops, nor is it very subtle like any normal productivity laptop. It has a good blend of both. On the top, you have this gamery design and there are lines running across. And by the way, this has a metal finish. At the bottom, you get the intake vent, so cold air enters from here. And at the back, you have exhaust vents, so the hot air goes out from there. Also, see here, it weighs in around this much. For a gaming laptop, this is fine. Like I was carrying this in my regular bag. It didn't feel that heavy. And since we are on the subject of design, see the hinge here is also fine. You can easily open it with one hand, and when you use it on a table, there is no wobble when you are typing on the laptop. Even when you keep it on your lap, there was barely any wobble. However, there is one thing that I personally didn't like here. Like, see on the inside, there are 5 stickers. Like, it is a small thing and it may not bother you, but I prefer if my laptop didn't have any stickers. Funny thing, I want stickers in the box, but not on the laptop. Other than that, design-wise, I would say the laptop is fine. And before I get to the performance section, let me show you 2 very interesting things about the ports here. Number 1, see on the left, you have 2 3.5mm jack. One is for input, which is for the mic, and one is for output, which is for speaker and headphone. Very strange, because usually other laptops give only one headphone jack. Interesting thing number 2, most of the ports are on the back. Like you see the power connector is here, mini HDMI port, another full-size HDMI port, and a Type-C USB 3.2 port. Now, I personally like when ports are on the back. It keeps the cable and clutter out of sight when you're using it for those aesthetic freaks. Besides this, you also get extra ports on either side of the laptop. On the left, Type-A USB 3.2 port and Type-A USB 2 port. On the right, you have an Ethernet jack, another Type-C USB 3.2 port, and a micro SD card reader. So yeah, connection-wise, this laptop has got you covered. Now coming to performance, and this is the most interesting part in this price segment, because brands have to find a balance between a good CPU and a GPU. So Acer went with a 12th Gen CPU. This is the i5 12450H. For those of you who don't know, there is U, P, and then there is H. H series has the most performance in the series. Now to test this and the thermals, I'll use a software called CoreTemp, and since all of you asked for Cinebench, see it's scored around 10,600, which is absolutely fine for this CPU. And also the temperatures were also within the limits. Also this comes with 16GB RAM, so doing regular stuff like watching videos, browsing on Google Chrome and all of that, for the most part, it is good. And I even tried my hands on photo editing, working with multiple layers in Photoshop and all of that. There was no issue here. However, there is one thing that I noticed. See, the computer is on, and now I'll close the lid, and if I open it again, it takes some time to wake up. Not that big of a deal, but I thought I should mention it. Now, you'll be like, come on Pratik, this is a gaming laptop. What about games? True. And to answer that, we tested it with much more games, and we have our in-house gamer, Sayan, over there. Let's go, man.
Thank you. Alright, so gaming on this laptop is actually fun. Because see, most other laptops in this price point usually gives a 4GB RTX 3050, that too underclocked at 30 or 50 TDP. But not here. Here you get a full 6GB RTX 3050 running at 75 watts. So I ran 3D Mark TimeSpy and it gave me a score of 5500, which is absolutely normal for a RTX 3050. But benchmarks are benchmarks. How well does it run games? Well, I ran 3 games to test this. First is the latest Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. With everything set to high at 1080p, DLSS set to quality, this game ran fine. Like yes, it is giving me around 30 FPS, but this is a very demanding game and we are playing with everything maxed out. Also, story-driven games like this are quite playable at 30 FPS. Next up is Cyberpunk 2077. Again, on the high preset, ray tracing off, DLSS set to quality, see I am getting good FPS. Like even if I start a firefight with lot of action happening on screen, FPS on average is around 50 to 60, pretty playable. And finally, FC24. 1080p, everything is on auto, and it is giving me well over 100 FPS. So yeah, gaming on this laptop is fine. It should handle most modern titles at 1080p with no issues. You can even turn on DLSS for higher FPS.
Got it. Speaking of better FPS, the display here supports 144Hz refresh rate. So even if you're not gaming, like if you're doing normal stuff, animation, and simply moving the mouse, this feels much smoother and responsive compared to a 60Hz laptop screen. Which brings me to the display. So this here is a 15.6-inch Full HD display. So this other day I was watching a movie on it. The colors and all are good. I won't say it is the brightest of the displays, but it is sufficient, gets the job done territory. And here's something nice. This has anti-glare coating, and this is a personal example. If your seat is near a window, or if you have a bright light just behind you, you should be just fine. The display doesn't reflect all of those. However, there are two things I wish were better here. Number one is the keyboard. Like yes, this is a full-size keyboard and it does have RGB as well, so you can change the color and everything. However, see this, if I compare it to any other laptop, the shift key here is small. At first I thought it won't be an issue. You usually get used to a laptop's keyboard in some time, but no. Even after using it for days, I was accidentally hitting the up key instead of the shift key, so there's that.
And number two would be the webcam. Like this is a 720p webcam, and this is how the video and audio quality is. Like it is in does the job territory. You can take video calls. Also, there is no privacy shutter over here, so there's that.
So these two were like my personal pet peeves with the laptop. Other than this, it is a Windows laptop, and like most Windows laptop at this price, it has a very average speaker. Like, have a listen to this. It doesn't sound loud, there is no bass, so I recommend using headphones. Also, gaming laptops in general don't have good battery life, and neither does this. Like in non-gaming scenarios, it would last me around 3 hours or so, and of course, don't even think about gaming on battery, just don't. So yeah, that was our take on the brand new Acer ALG laptop. Now to answer the question, was this a good purchase in the sale? Well, again, it depends on how much you get it for. Like we got it for 60,990. So at that price point, gaming performance is good. It has all the necessary ports, check. And since this is Acer, they should have better after-sales service than gaming laptops from other brands. Let us know what is the most important thing you consider when buying a laptop. Productivity, gaming, and we are planning for a special laptop video soon. Guess in the comment section, and if you're right, we'll give you a shout out. Until then, this is Pradeep signing off. See you in the next video. Pew pew pew.